Good afternoon, folks. This is Mrs. Rushton, and I wanted to give you a quick video tutorial on how to multiply numbers using partial products. So the kids and I have talked about this today at school, and I know parents that this is not something you're going to be used to, so we wanted to give you a little tutorial so that you can help your student at home. We've practiced using area models in order to multiply large digit numbers that the kids may find to be somewhat challenging. So we can use information they already know about distributive property and expanded form in order to break down these numbers and make it a little easier to multiply. So this is an example of an area model, and we're going to use this information in a minute to work on partial product. So the kids know that they can take this larger number, 257, and writing it in expanded form, they draw what is basically a rectangle divided into the number of digits they have in the largest number. So we're going to expand this out into 257. The kids know if they added 200 plus 50 plus 7, they would have 257. And of course we're multiplying it by 5. Now, the kids could use this area model for any size number. They could do it for a double-digit number. They could do it for a number that goes all the way up into the 1 or 10,000s place. They just needed to add extra boxes on in order to accommodate these extra expanded form places. But for now, we're just going to use this 3-digit number. I put a multiplication symbol here in the corner just to remind the guys that we are multiplying 5 times every part of the 257. So I can start to multiply 5 times 200. Well, I know 5 times 2 is 10. I'll add the 2 extra zeros in there to get 1,000. I'm going to multiply 5 times 50. I know that 5 times 5 is 25. The 0 that's in the 50 is going to go at the end for 250. 5 times 7 is 35. And now I have to multiply all 3 of these together because I have what's called a partial product. Partial just means part of, and of course product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So now I have part of my answer to the big multiplication problem of 257 times 5. Honestly, the kids have a hard time sometimes adding across horizontally, so we typically rewrite it 1,000 plus 250 plus 35. And of course, if I add it all together, I'm going to get 1,285 as my answer. Now it's not partial anymore. It's my actual answer. And I can check this with a calculator just to make sure that I am correct. So 257 times 5 is 1,285. So I was right. Another way that we've told the kids to make sure that their actual answer is reasonable is to round or estimate. And so they would take this number 257 and they would estimate that to be 300. They would round it up to the hundreds place. And they would say 300 times 5 is 1,500. And so my answer is reasonable here, 1,285. So let's take what we know about area model and let's apply it to partial products. We're going to use that and distributive property to help us solve these multiplication problems. So we're going to start with 48 times 6. Now I've already done all the work here. So I want you to see that I have taken 48 and broken it up. I've distributed it or put it in an expanded form, and it's 40 plus 8. Of course, 6 is just 6. So now I have to do the same thing I did in the area model. I'm just not using that rectangular anymore. And I want to multiply every part of 6 times every part of 48. So 40 times 6 is 240. And 8 times 6 is 48. These are now my partial products, 240 and 48. So I have to add them together. And when I do, I get 288. Again, I can check my work to make sure that 48 times 6 is actually 288, and I am right. So let's see it in action. Okay, so I have my second example here, 63 times 5. And I'm just going to use what I know about expanded form and say 60 plus 3. And of course 5 is just 5. And I have to multiply every part of 5 times every part of 63. So I'm going to write over here to the side, 60 times 5. Of course that equals 6 times 5 is 30. Put a 0 there for the extra 1 and 60. And then I have 3 times 5. Of course we know is 15. And now I have my partial products. So all I have to do is add them together. And of course we know that 300 plus 15 is 315, which will give me my answer of 63 times 5. And again, I can check using my calculator. 63 times 5 is 315. Plus, if we had estimated or rounded, 63 would round to 60, and 60 times 5 is 300. So yes, my answer is reasonable. So there you go, partial products, quick tutorial, and hopefully that will help you guys make it through homework. We are going to have a quiz in a couple of days, so practice, practice, practice.